In our fast-paced modern world, we often find ourselves struggling to keep up with the constant demands of life. We battle with stress, anxiety, broken relationships, career challenges, and the overwhelming pressure to succeed. But what if the answers to many of our problems already existed, hidden in the pages of ancient wisdom? What if the philosophers of the past, who navigated their own tumultuous worlds, could teach us how to tackle the very issues that plague us today? In this video, we're going to explore how ancient wisdom, from the Stoics to the Epicureans, offers practical solutions to some of the most common struggles we face today: relationships, work, anxiety, and failure. This timeless wisdom not only helps us survive, but thrive in a chaotic world. Let's dive into how philosophy can solve real-world problems. Section 1. Ancient wisdom in modern relationships. Relationships. They are central to our lives. We seek connection, love, and companionship. Yet relationships are often where we find ourselves most stressed and conflicted. Misunderstandings, arguments, and misaligned expectations can tear us apart. So how can ancient wisdom help us navigate modern relationships? Let's start with Stoic philosophy, particularly the wisdom of Seneca and Marcus Aurelius. Seneca, in his letters to a Stoic, tells us that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. So many of the problems we face in relationships are amplified by our overthinking and imagination. We worry about what others think of us, we get consumed by assumptions, and we imagine worst-case scenarios. But these mental projections are often far from the truth. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, emphasized focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. This is an invaluable lesson in relationships. You can't control how others behave or how they feel, but you can control how you respond. By recognizing that we can only control our actions, we stop trying to manipulate or change other people and instead focus on being our best selves in every interaction. Practical application. The next time you're in a disagreement or feeling disconnected from someone, pause and ask yourself, what part of this situation can I control? How can I show understanding, empathy, and maturity regardless of the other person's actions? This shift from trying to control others to controlling your reactions will bring you more peace in relationships. Another powerful lesson comes from Epictetus, who said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In relationships, when we face hurt or frustration, it's easy to react impulsively. But the Stoics taught us to pause, to reflect, and to act with virtue. Responding with calmness, kindness, and understanding can transform even the most difficult interactions. Section 2. Stoic wisdom in the workplace. Handling work, stress, and expectations. Now, let's talk about work. In today's world, the pressure to succeed, meet deadlines, and perform at our best can be overwhelming. Whether it's a difficult boss, toxic office culture, or a relentless workload, stress at work is an everyday reality for many of us. So how can ancient wisdom help us navigate the chaos of modern work life? Marcus Aurelius, who was not only a Stoic philosopher but also a Roman emperor, knew the weight of responsibility. His days were filled with military campaigns, political decisions, and the challenges of governing an empire. And yet, he found peace through his Stoic practice. In his Meditations, Marcus wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This profound insight teaches us that obstacles aren't something to be avoided, they are opportunities for growth. In the workplace, challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but instead of seeing them as roadblocks, the Stoics teach us to see them as opportunities to improve, learn, and build resilience. Practical application. When faced with a difficult task, rather than being intimidated or frustrated, ask yourself, how can I use this challenge to grow? The more we approach work with this mindset, the more we build the mental resilience needed to handle any situation. Epictetus also teaches us the importance of focusing on what is within our control. In today's work environment, it's easy to get caught up in what others think of us or in external expectations. But Stoicism teaches us that true peace comes from focusing on what we can control: our actions, our thoughts, and our attitude. Practical tip. The next time you feel overwhelmed by work, take a moment to reflect on your internal mindset. What are you focusing on? Are you letting external pressures affect your sense of peace? Reframe your approach by remembering that you control how you respond, not the tasks themselves. By focusing on what's within your control, you'll experience less stress and greater focus. Section 3. Ancient wisdom for anxiety and overthinking. Anxiety and overthinking are two of the most common struggles we face in the modern world. Whether it's worrying about the future, overanalyzing situations, or getting stuck in cycles of negative thought, these mental patterns can drain our energy and hinder our growth. The Epicureans, led by Epicurus, offer profound insight on overcoming anxiety. Epicurus taught that much of our suffering comes from desires and anxieties about things that we cannot control. He believed that happiness is found through simple pleasures and by cultivating peaceful relationships with others. Epicurus said, "If you wish to be rich, do not add to your money, but subtract from your desire." In today's world, our desires often lead to anxiety. We're bombarded by the need for more success, more money, more recognition. But Epicurus teaches us that the path to peace is through simplicity and the reduction of unnecessary desires. Practical tip: when you feel anxious, ask yourself, what is causing this anxiety? Is it rooted in something beyond your control or an overinflated desire for more? By focusing on what truly brings happiness, time with loved ones, meaningful work, or a simple moment of peace, we can reduce anxiety and find greater joy. Section 4. Turning failure into growth. Ancient wisdom on resilience. Failure. In today's world, we often equate failure with defeat, but ancient wisdom teaches us that failure is just a stepping stone to success. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus and Seneca, viewed failure as an inevitable part of life, a tool for growth rather than something to be feared. Seneca famously said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Instead of fearing failure, we should embrace it as a necessary part of the journey. Every failure, mistake, or setback is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow stronger. Practical application. The next time you face failure, ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? Instead of dwelling on the disappointment, shift your mindset to one of growth. How can I use this failure to become better? By doing so, we stop seeing failure as a roadblock and start viewing it as an essential part of success. Section 5. Ancient practices for mental mastery. The ancient philosophers didn't just offer us wisdom, they gave us practical tools to implement that wisdom into our daily lives. The Stoics, for example, were experts in self-discipline and mental mastery. One of their key practices was journaling, a powerful way to reflect on the day's events, analyze our thoughts and actions, and improve our mindset. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, used journaling to reflect on his actions and thoughts. Every night he would review his day, identifying areas where he had acted virtuously and areas where he could improve. Practical tip: try journaling every day. Spend 5 to 10 minutes reflecting on your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Ask yourself questions like, did I act with wisdom today? And where can I improve? This practice will help you become more aware of your behavior, reduce anxiety, and guide you toward personal growth. Another practice that can help us cultivate mental resilience is meditation. The Stoics were not strangers to the practice of quieting the mind. They understood that in order to deal with life's chaos, we must first find inner peace. Today, meditation is more accessible than ever and is a powerful tool for calming the mind and improving focus. Practical tip: start each day with 5 to 10 minutes of meditation. Focus on your breath. Let go of any negative thoughts and center yourself for the day ahead. This simple practice will help you build mental resilience and stay grounded amidst life's challenges. Conclusion: how ancient wisdom solves modern problems. The wisdom of the ancient philosophers is as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. Stoicism, Epicureanism, and other schools of thought offer practical tools for navigating the chaos of modern life, whether in our relationships, work, anxiety, or failure. These timeless lessons can help us lead more focused, peaceful, and resilient lives. If you found these insights helpful, hit subscribe and join us on this journey of applying ancient wisdom to solve modern problems. Together, we'll use philosophy to navigate the complexities of life with clarity, strength, and grace.